a second weekend of prolonged heavy rain has brought flooding in areas across the country. The Environment Agency said it expected significant flooding to continue into the next week. There are currently 409 flood alerts across England, Scotland and Wales, with 339 flood warnings. 6 severe flood warnings are still in place, meaning there's a danger to life. 4 on the River Teem and 2 in South Wales, including the River Taff at Pontypridd. Our Home Affairs correspondent Andy Davis is in Nant Garw tonight. Andy.
Well, rescue workers here today told me that they hadn't seen anything like it in decades. Dozens of residents in this village have now been moved out as the flood levels finally begin to drop. But the scale of the flooding across Wales has caused huge disruption. In this county borough alone, the council leader told us today that more than 500 residential properties have been flooded. It could be as many as 1,000. They're still getting reports coming in. And as far as the damage is concerned, it was so serious that South Wales Police declared a major incident this afternoon. And the fact that the Met Office issued a rare red warning gives you some indication of just how much concern there's been. Some very dramatic scenes overnight, particularly in Pontypridd, where the river there has reached its highest level in over 40 years. And I was chatting to a man there in one of the streets who told me how in the early hours this morning he grabbed the hand of a passing taxi driver, hauled him out of his car moments before the car was swept into the river. The Welsh Government has tonight said that it will be giving extra cash to councils to deal with the aftermath of Storm Dennis. At one end of the street, they were being helped to safety. At the other, amidst the collection of abandoned cars, the rescue operation continued. Some had to be stretchered out, many of them elderly. Others were carried. A constant stream of flood evacuees, cold and exhausted.
This flooded way up. Yeah. All the furniture, all the carpets, everything, gone.
What's the scene inside?
Pretty bad. It came down to, well, I'm 6'4", it came down to about my waist. So it's pretty deep, but we managed to get out of the back.
We had the phone call at 5 o'clock this morning to see if we could do anything and go and rescue the dogs. Basically, one unfortunately passed away, and we've managed to save Millie, and we're going to take her to the vets now.
Is there anything I can carry?
No, I don't.
Yeah, do you want to drop that for you? Thank you.
As Nant Garw's residents are taken to one of the area's 3 emergency centres, and the boats keep coming, others like Michael Smith, the owner of MS Auto's garage, surveys the damage.
Like 60,000–70,000 pounds of this equipment, garage equipment, let alone all the cars in it at the same time. It's just absolutely devastating, and there's still so many people out there suffering.
Well, they're 7 hours into this particular operation, and they're still bringing out residents. South Wales Fire and Rescue have just stated that since midnight, they've received over 1,000 calls. This was the scene in Crickhowell, 20 miles away. The Coast Guard sends in a helicopter to take out the last person on site at a caravan park. The River Usk, like others across Wales, bursting its banks overnight. He's winched to safety. Others in the village reported flooding at ceiling level. Parts of Wales saw more than 150 millimetres of rainfall in 48 hours, far exceeding the average monthly total.
So this is out the front of the house. It looks like a river, it's not a canal.
In the Neath Valley, this is what some residents awoke to. In Pontypridd, it was car parks flowing like waterfalls. More than 600 people had been evacuated from homes in River Teem and Taff last night. This street saw cars swept away. And this morning, opposite where the wall had collapsed, residents like Linda Davis had been clearing up since dawn. It smashed the wall down?
It smashed the wall down, but it was the speed that the water was flowing. It was a terrific speed, yes.
A bit scary?
It was very, very scary. Very, very scary.
What did you find when you came into the house this morning?
Well, it's just complete wreckage. I mean, everything's, there's a skip full. Well, we've just lost the pets. Well, like one cat we found dead. And I think the neighbours found one, and she had 3, and the other one's missing. So we've just buried the one in the garden up here. So
you've just buried the cat?
The one cat, yeah.
Further downstream in Taffswell, images of flooded playgrounds and clubhouses replicated scenes elsewhere. These fields are near the centre of Cardiff. And among the most dramatic images of the day,
oh my God, that's bad.
This landslide on a hill near Tylerstown in the Rhondda Valley. Tonight engineers are monitoring the hill for signs of further movement, and that could mean yet more properties being evacuated.
Andy Davis reporting there. Well, the threat for many communities remains this evening. Our weather presenter Liam Dutton joins us now from South Wales. Liam.
Thanks, Jackie. Well, as we've just seen, there's been a massive amount of rain falling in here in South Wales in the last 24 hours. 6 inches of rain falling in some spots. And that rain has fallen on ground that's already saturated from the rainfall that we had with Storm Kira last weekend. Now, it's no surprise that the Met Office issued its highest tier red level warning for the first time in a number of years, and there's been hundreds of flood warnings and flood alerts across the UK, including some severe flood warnings as well. Now, it's not just been here in South Wales that's been badly hit. Over the border into Herefordshire, there's been some serious flooding as well, parts of Shropshire. We've got some pictures here showing the situation in Worcestershire, so the flooding has been serious and over quite a big area. But on a more positive note, things are going to calm down in the next couple of days. All of the rain warnings in association with Storm Dennis expire at 9 p.m. this evening, and then for Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday, the rainfall in the form of showers, so not the prolonged heavy rain that we've seen, and that will hopefully allow the river levels to fall down and people to start to clear up.